Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show, Quantum Panel Talk. So, oh, walked in and what do I see? Aussie has sent over Quantum Coffee. Thank you so much, Aussie Tiger. Just got promoted during the first hour to moderator. Had a wrenching experience right here. And thank you so much. It helps. It does help. This webcam came from that. Heck yeah. It's not an awesome webcam, but it's better than what I had. So, thanks everybody and welcome back everyone. Let me go ahead and just go through. Sarah Stafford, Samo, Aussie Tiger, DJ Wardove, Tim, LA Moon, Lynn. Yeah. And people are still showing up. So I will leave it alone for now. I think I got everybody. I said Sarah. Awesome. So yeah. So talking about more life in Muggle world and all the stuff that they are not aware about. Everything they are not aware about. Right? The webcam may be cheap, but it gets the job done. You know, it's got excellent light correction because the other webcams I was using, they made it look dark and blurry. This one does not. Yeah, it has some auto correcting features, autofocus features, which is nice. The other ones did not. And yeah, panel edition. So yeah, and I am going to start sending links out to those who want them. So yeah, we were talking about living more muggle life and all the stuff that's going on. And looks like it's gonna be me and Lynn. Nobody else wants to come on. Unless you want to come on, Storm. Link is sent. LA Moon. So okay. Yeah, just life in Muggle world. And I am, you know, being in Muggle world, okay? Being in Muggle, it's not so bad. To be honest, yeah, we've got this awareness of the spirit world, ufology, the people around us. Uh, we sense the true motivations of people, the empathy stuff, the auras. We do all that, yes, but we still got to live here, you know. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because, there are sometimes you just got to have fun with it. You just got to have fun with it. And that's why I'm into these things and these things, and especially these things, right? Especially these things. Especially the robotics and the droids, especially that. And yeah, you hear me talk about the car stuff, but now it's like there's no reason to. I mean, I don't need to be. Hey, Rachel, welcome back, Rachel. OB2 in the house. Okay, you know what? I will do that. It will be nice because we're both stuck in the Muggle world, and we both do the weird stuff, but we still both kind of have to learn to like it. Hey, Spidey 228, welcome back to the Quantum Show. I think you're here. I think I remember you. Hey, Ray. Hey, Renee. Thanks for coming back. We're gonna have an interesting panel. This is gonna be a very interesting panel. I'm going to get that link out to you, Tim. Hold on. And this is gonna be a fun time. Okay. Links are all sent, getting off of Messenger for the moment. And hey, Lynn, welcome back to the panel.
Hi, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Uh, everyone, you know the drill. Before Aussie jumps my stuff, we need a sound check. Do I sound okay?
You to me.
You do? Okay. Now, let me see here. I'm waiting for sound check results. Sound check, sound check. Let me know how I sound because, all right. Hey, Human Jim. Sounds good. Welcome back. Thanks, everyone. Okay. Human Jim. Uh, who is Robot Jim? Would love to have him in here because, this is the Quantum Show and I have a special place in my heart for AI and all that. So, okay, sounds good. Oh, okay. Sarah says Tim is away from the keyboard right now, but he shall return.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on up here. Come on.
You were in the first hour. What did you think? You know what? It was the Manuka honey. I had another shot of Manuka in there, and it got me going. I still feel it burning my ears.
I didn't do that, but I did have something to eat and took a real short nap,
Right.
just enough to get my bearings again.
Understand.
It's been
Oh
a
yeah.
week. It's been a week.
Yeah, has it now. Because my week was relatively okay, you know? I guess not everyone's week is going so great. Sorry to hear it. I'm glad you're
Oh, it's not horrible. There's a medication I have to use occasionally, and it makes me snotty as hell.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can keep my attitude under control here.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. But
Well,
if
my
you have
attitude's pretty good.
okay, yeah, your attitude, I'm talking about like if you need like here, I've got tissues, you know. If you need tissues, I wish I could just like go like this and have you and it just like oh, it's the fourth wall. Okay. See that? That's the fourth
Yeah,
wall we can't get
yeah.
through.
It's
But
fine.
you're good. You're good. Okay.
Actually, that wasn't the kind of snotty I was referring to, but okay.
Mm. Yeah, but yeah, life among muggles. And I think you and I are really good at presenting the metric of life among muggles because we've done it a lot. We're aware of the not muggle stuff.
Well, we kind of grew
And
up here, you know.
yeah, we're here. Why not? You know what? I refuse to let it be a bad experience. That's me. I
Yeah,
refuse it. And that is
I've had the bad experience. I'm ready for the good one, and
yeah. I mean even
it's all good.
yeah. Now, when I say that it's not only a manifestation thing for me. It's also an attitude thing because
Right.
every bad experience comes with some kind of every cloud has a silver lining type of deal, right?
Well, you learn something from a bad experience if you're smart.
Yeah, and now
And
it's been a
yeah,
while. Go ahead.
no, that's fine.
Um, but it's been a while since I've started this, and I'm kind of used to it. And it's easy to say, but make the best out of a bad situation, you know,
It's
instead
hard.
of
It's
hmm,
hard to comfort someone who's who's having the worst time of their lives,
yeah,
and then of course, you take the empathic hit as well because you can feel what they're feeling, and it's we you try to put your arm around them, and the only thing you can do is just be there,
yeah.
listen, and be there.
There will always be bad times,
Oh yeah.
and you
How would
know,
you recognize the good ones?
right? But the bad times don't last forever, and we're still here.
Can't
So,
rain all the time.
right, and when the bad times are gone, I'm not going to let that color my now.
Yeah.
I just refuse to. And I see so many people letting their past into their now. that they let it color them and they let it shape them. And the Muggles call it traumatic experiences. I've had traumatic experiences too.
Me too.
I've had some really bad ones. In my estimation, I've had some really bad ones. And I refuse to let them affect my now. I look
Yeah.
around, I go, I take a breath. I'm like, where am I? What's going on?
Well,
And
if you bleed for all of it, you will do nothing but bleed.
yeah. And
Okay? If you are able to gather to you your sense of wonder and your sense of joy in the world and look up at the sky and say, I get to see this today. I get to. Not just that I want to, but I get to. That's denied to a lot of people,
yeah.
you
And
know?
I refuse to let it color my now.
Right. No, I listened to youngster tonight, and I say youngster, oh, I think he's probably about 10 years younger than you are, and I talked with him, and oh, it's bad. It's been bad this week. It's been awful. And I looked at him, and this was just a few minutes ago,
Hmm.
and I said, yes, that's your decision right now. It's bad. It's real bad. What's your decision in the next moment? What do you
Right.
mean by that? I said, you're gonna bleed all over it? Are you going to gather it into yourself, take power from it, take experience, take knowledge, and get your joy on? And
Yeah.
he was stunned. I said, just think about what I said. I said, you don't have to respond to me. I said, just think about it. And it's those one sentences that
Yeah.
go from person to person. There's going to be one person in several who's going to take that to say, yeah, I want that. And that's the guy I want to talk to.
Mm. Yeah. Like the past is not going to affect my now, even if my now is bad, because I know it won't be lasting very long. Because I make sure to work my ass through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't
And
mean ignore it.
no, I'm gonna manifest my ass out of it. And
Yeah.
why not? Because I can, and I'm gonna, and there's no way to stop me. And
Well,
that I think,
and right now too, you have the energy of youth. You may not think so, but you do. I give my teeth to be your age.
I like to think of it as mental fortitude at this point,
Yes.
because yeah, I'll admit my energy is running a little less than 23 years old, but I like to think I've got the mental fortitude and self discipline to
Uh,
make the stuff happen.
but the things that are happening right now and are going to happen in the future, with or without us, mental fortitude is going to be your guiding hand towards surviving much.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm not talking about a full blown holy shit all hell broke loose.
no,
I'm talking about the Hurricane Helens
yeah,
or the Katrinas or a tornado
or an
or a simple
asteroid
or an asteroid
or
or a
fire.
earthquake, fire. Fire
Hmm.
can happen to anyone.
Yeah, we think we're so advanced. We still
I've
suffer
lost
from,
2 houses. I've had 2 homes burned down on me.
yeah, we suffer from elements. And it's like, oh, okay, when are we gonna get off our high horses? You
Yeah,
know, um,
we're not quite so strong as we think we are.
nah. And okay, go. Okay, now you were here for the first hour. You watched it,
I
right?
got to see some of it. I didn't
Some of
see
it.
much. Yeah,
Okay.
I had to eat something. And I had to close my eyes for 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, heck yeah. Now I'm gonna skip the whole toy section. I did a toy pickup section, right? I'm gonna we'll just circle back, put a pin on that one, right?
Okay, that's I can go back and look.
Okay. And you remember last week I met that dude who was telling me about he kept talking about weed and am I ready to meet
I
my
do.
insecurities? Well, there was
Oh,
another
please.
one there.
You know more about insecurities that kid has come in
Yeah, and
contact with
I
yet.
was I was throwing out all the terms like
Words.
shadow work and
Didn't know any of it.
self-enlightenment, and he was like,
Huh?
"What? What, huh?" And he just
What?
went and he was so locked in on his own train of thought, he just
Yeah.
went on, right? And there
It's
was an
stone. It's just a stoner thing.
yeah, and it's these these are oh, these millennials. Okay, love them to death. The children are our future, but come on, y'all. You got to embrace
Yeah,
reality
they're our
sometimes.
future. Aren't you frightened yet? No,
Yeah,
I
and
am joking. I mean, every generation will come in a with the gift that they came with. They will,
right.
each one.
Yeah,
And
they'll
we
shine on
yeah,
their
they'll
own,
be fine.
but
The rest
they
of us might be confused, but they'll be fine.
I learned how to use a cell phone. I got computer tech trained. Now I'm working with cell phone stuff.
Me too.
You know what? I
Yeah.
blame
And I'm a
my
boomer.
yeah, and I blame credit my X-Men esque hit in the head when I got turned into something, right? I got turned
I'll
into an
tell
X
you, and
Man.
you know who taught this boomer how to do computers? Gen X.
Yep.
Okay? So we all have something to learn from each other.
Yeah, and
You know, there's no reason to have this division.
I'm kind of a zennial because I'm late Gen X,
Okay.
but not quite millennial because I'm 75. Well, I'm year 75. No, I'm not 75 years old, but 1975. And well, I was one of the last ones because it's like to 76.
Yeah.
And then, well, I grew up with the big change in technology. I still like the telephone system, the DTMF methods, the keypad tones. Those are really useful. They really can be
Yeah,
useful when
yeah,
implemented
they're a
correctly.
wonderful hack. Did I say that? Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, it's not a hack. It's not a hack. It is a language. It's
yeah,
like
I know.
ASCII or hexadecimal, DTMF. It's all numbers.
Yeah,
And it's
you.
still a great thing when you have audio and you need to do that. You need to get the message across. DTMF is still good. Speaking of DTMF and networking,
I
hey, Tim.
think I'm
Hi,
doing
Tim.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sounds good. Sounds good.
yes.
Sounds good.
Well, what I was going to
Ah,
tell
good,
you,
good. You can
Nathan.
hear me.
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Okay, we're gonna go back to the good old sound check.
I can hear you coming from her speaker in the background. I haven't worked it out on my side yet.
Okay.
Oh, did you get a new rig? Oh, okay.
Uh,
You're in twice.
oh, that's what the pro.
Yeah. Yeah, you got an echo going on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
one is now gone,
Okay.
and this audio must be going to my Bluetooth headphones rather than these headphones. So I'll be right back with the proper set of headphones, if
Okay.
that's okay. I apologize for
No problems. Well, what I was going to tell you, in 1979, I was working for an answering service, and it was a plug service,
Mhm.
as in the calls were answered, intercepted through a plug in the wall.
Yeah, switchboard.
Yeah, switchboard, big time. And then they upgraded and went to a button switchboard, which is sort of like the touch tone
That
phone.
means I can move that out of the way.
And that was quite the experience. So, you know, I've had the gamut of experience with technology.
Yeah, I was still using a dictaphone in
Everyone can see
2007.
me, but I can't hear you yet.
You
I
can't
won't
hear us?
continue to talk over you until I have a chance to change some settings.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. He's going to get his stuff. Tim
figure
DJ
it out.
is he's going to get his stuff figured out. And we're on him and I are on the same level as far as tech, because he showed me a bunch of this stuff. He'll be back.
Yeah.
He showed me a bunch of this stuff going way back to like 1997 and 1998. So he was there when I bought my first computer. And yeah, I bought my first computer. I bought one. I have, in total, in my entire career interest, I have bought. Let's try it again. Okay, how are you sounding?
I can hear you. I can hear a slight echo.
Let me adjust your settings.
I'm definitely hearing you through headphones.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, our settings look good. Hope everybody can hear Tim.
I could hear him fine.
Okay, chat room, talk to me. Can everybody hear Tim okay? Tim, give us a sound check.
Sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They're cracking in there.
Yes. Okay, good. Sound check is good. OB2 says sound check is good.
Yeah, Stara is saying it's a little staticky.
Yeah, it is a little staticky, but we can handle it.
All right. Yeah, Woo has complimented your beard. I'm really glad he isn't complimenting mine. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the integration of technology, and I was bragging about how you were there when I got my first computer from that magazine. Remember? And I didn't know how to set up a null modem.
Oh man, the first computers though, you guided me, I guided you, and those days were just crazy with Windows 95 going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, really, oh man, I give you what, I got Storm to cut his beard this week.
Holy crap!
Yeah, well, he's having some problems, with the skin under. And I said, well, listen, the only way I can treat that well is for you to take it off. Take it all off.
It'll come back.
Hey, you know what, Tim? It is already. Man, he's got mustache three quarters of the way there already.
Okay. Tim, check your mic volume on your hardware. Not your settings on StreamYard, but your hardware mic volume there.
On my
your mic pickup, your gain, your mic volume on your hardware, not on StreamYard, but there. And give us another sound check when you're ready.
I was listening to some of,
because it's usually
sound check. I'm making sure all background system sounds are off.
Really, really staticky.
Right, but do you have a hardware button you can do? Like, I have one of these, right?
Oh, on my phone? On my phone, I do. No, I don't have a.
Like a microphone volume. It's microphone volume on StreamYard, but it's gain everywhere else. And there should be a pickup, or are you using a headset?
I was earlier, but the headset is it's a standard stereophonic jack, and they switched over to Bluetooth, and this is the only Bluetooth headphones that I have. And
I bet it's
connected to you.
okay. I bet it's the
Yeah.
Bluetooth that's causing it, because
Yeah.
your
Okay.
mic pickup is way high. Let me
Let me
look at
try to correct for that.
Okay, I adjusted your microphone volume. Give us a 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, it's still staticky.
Yeah.
Like well, you're using a phone, right? I don't know how to do it on a phone, dude. But
I can troubleshoot the other one, but I don't think it's worth it. Can you all hear a perceptible echo?
there's no echo, there's static crackling
Yeah.
as you talk. Where is your microphone located? You're using Bluetooth headphones, but where's the microphone located? Where's the microphone located? You're using Bluetooth headphones, but where's your mic located? You got nothing.
Stop.
There's no sound. No sound. No sound. No sound. No sound. Okay, you muted your microphone on StreamYard.
Yeah.
No sound. No sound. No sound. Samo's saying it's like a loose contact. Well, it's Bluetooth, so there's no contact to be made. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Very
microphone
not
is muted.
tight. Well, that was an experiment.
Oh, well, he'll be back.
But maybe I'll figure out what happened there and manage it.
Yeah, he'll be back.
But anyway,
yeah.
I was listening to some of his music this week. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Videos are wow.
Yeah, he's starting to use some of the Midjourney AI video generation, and maybe it's not Midjourney. I don't know which one he uses, but that stuff's pretty cool, and I would like to do some of that too. I'm thinking about getting myself, if I can figure out how to do this stuff. Tim, help us! You're my only hope for figuring out this AI stuff. I asked Amy, who uses it, but she uses Canva, and Canva is super difficult. Now you're having audio problems.
Am I?
Yeah, you're low. Bring your mic a little bit closer to your face if you can. Should be bendy.
How's that?
A little better. Let me look at your mic settings. Yeah, you've got
I'm all the way up.
Okay.
You want to fix it?
I got you. You're sounding better already. Test.
Okay. How does that sound?
One more time.
How does it sound? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sounds good now. Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, hope it sounds good to me. I got my mic all the way up. My mic is not all the way up, but you are all the way up on my end.
Okay.
Best I can do. And you're starting to crackle too. You might want to unplug it or wiggle it or something. Oh. Tim, your stuff is not working. It says device is not connected, locked. That's what it says. But I got some audio from you.
Oh, weird. Okay. Let me play with this.
I'm looking at your mic volume here. I hit echo cancel, reduce mic background, and I've got your microphone because you were way up.
Okay.
But I got you at like 42. You know, life, universe, and everything.
Yeah.
but we need to reduce. We need to keep the reduced background noise checked because it helps.
Okay. It was
All right, see,
you see me now?
yes, looks good,
Sweet.
sounds good, looks good.
Oh,
Lynn is replugging.
Thank you. I quickly reset all audio devices for you and came back in.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah. Being in
Nathan?
communication though, I hate dead air, and I
Yeah, I hear you, Lynn. Yes, what's up?
Yeah, I'm going to dash out for a second. Have Storm fix this camera.
Okay,
All
okay.
right. Thanks.
Too easy. See you in a bit. All right, she's
All
gonna
right.
go out and come back in. And yeah, we were talking about when were we both getting our first computers at that time over in Germany?
Exactly. My first computer was about 1996, I'd say. It was right before I deployed in 97.
Yeah, me
so,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got. Yeah, I went. You know what? I was like the only individual to get a computer from that company, and I told you the story, right? You remember what happened? I had to call I called the company, and the janitor answered, and he found a box with my name on it, and I was like, just give it to the mail guy or give it to whoever, and he did. I was the only one that I know of, and they actually wanted to interview me on this computer website, this
Yeah.
consumer electronics website, because I was the only one to get it, and I had to talk to the janitor. He was like a guy cleaning the floors and windows and stuff, and he actually, but it made it to me all the way to Germany, and then it was like you and I, with what time we had, because we were always on damn alert, you know.
Yeah, you had a printer, I remember. And
I had a printer at work, dude. I hijacked my own work printer. I shouldn't have done that.
That was great though, because we could do so much other than work with a printer. At that point, desktop publishing had not been as evolved as it is now.
Right.
So
There was no such thing as creative suites. It was like,
yeah, Word was like, whoa,
yeah.
whoa, a
Word
word
90
processor in a
Yeah,
computer.
Word 97 was the shiznit, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, we were around for that period of computing, and it was really, really an interesting period.
Mhm.
I hooked a lot of guys up in the barracks after I had left the army when I stayed in Europe, and I got a computer job over at a company called Aventus GmbH, which is just GmbH. It's like company in German, but
Yeah.
I got a job over there, and I was making computers, and I hooked a couple of the medics up with computers, um, and a couple of the stingers,
Mhm.
because I knew everyone at the unit after I got out. So I
Mhm.
got a chance. I got a chance to still interact with those guys, and help them get their first computers, and it was a good job.
Yeah.
It's one of
You know, your section and the Stingers were the coolest people I ever worked with. You know, they were the coolest, most fun people to hang around.
I
All of
agree.
y'all, they were the commo. Commo is communications, by the way. All
Yeah.
y'all non-military, and Stingers are the handheld rocket launchers. Um, there now we were in a. Let me just give this synopsis, right? We were in some of the not so early Patriot missile units, and there were attached units. We had sections. His was commo, communication. I was admin. I was S1, which is the administrative arm of everything, right? And I was the one in the office, but was expected to be a full time badass. I think I managed it. I
Oh
think
yeah, you convinced okay, prior to the military, I would not have thought of the chaplain's assistant being such a badass. But after I had met your chaplain, that crazy ass colonel that they had for a while,
Yeah.
and like found out like how much you actually ran that shop compared to
Yeah. And it was an E5 slot, dude. By the way, everybody, I was E3, E4, or E2 at that time.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
those
You
I
were
was
young.
never an E5. Okay, I never, I never went to go to get it. You have to go to get it. But I was like proudly, what do they call it now? E4 Mafia.
Yeah. E4 Mafia, Shem Shields for life. That's what I graduated with.
Yep.
You know, ask me about the best place to hide in a warehouse and smoke a cigarette.
Heck yeah. Yeah. But talking about the sections, he was communication, aka commo, and he got to deal with all the cool computer stuff, all the weird bulletproof shit that was coming through, right? And the Stingers, well, I didn't get to mess with any of their hardware because it was like ultra top secret and all this stuff and super controlled, and I was just there. But
Yeah.
we would hang out. Okay, Lynn is back.
There
Hey,
we are.
Lynn.
I
Sounds
sound any
oh,
better.
much better and no crackling. And we're reminiscing about. I was setting the scene so everybody understands how Tim and I were existing in the military in the beginning of our computer adventures.
Uh-huh.
If we need any more dramatic than that, the
Yeah.
beginning of the computer adventure.
Yeah. I mean,
Awesome adventure. You gotta put that in there. So
Yeah.
Tim and Nathan's awesome adventure.
nice. Yeah, he got to go all sorts of different places. Like a chaplain's assistant was like Doctor Who credentials. I don't know if you know psychic vapor. It was just like, you know, a general comes up to you and he could be like chaplain's assistant. And suddenly his presence made sense to all of them and they would leave him alone.
Nathan, I can not hear Tim.
Check your volume. Can you hear
I
me?
did. I did.
Okay, well, let me check. Let me mess with.
Test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dance like you never danced
Got
before.
Okay, maybe
I
it's
got
just
the
my
dance
volume.
part. I
Yes,
was
my
telling
volume.
Nathan I was listening to some of your music this week, and it's good stuff. My
Thank
son
you.
came in and said, "Ma, what is that? That is great." And I said, "Oh, this is Tim Stafford." I said he creates this music, and he goes, "I love it."
Yeah,
Nice.
you're
I
looking at.
appreciate that.
Yeah, Tim is the underground at Coal Hill, right? He is it. He is it.
I'm it.
I don't think anybody else has a clue about it over there.
No. I'm like less known than your rapper's least favorite rapper's rapper.
Oh, now that's persona non grata.
Yeah. No,
You don't want to be in this. You know, he's not in your league at all.
Yeah, if you try to get a hold of me, my agent will wonder how the hell you did it. And that's because it's me.
Well,
It's awesome though. It's awesome. Like when I was in my 20s, I went through a period where I had a few followers and a little bit of notoriety up in an urban area. And then I moved over here, and what I do now, I enjoy so much more than what I did there. I mean, there was like, now I just make beat after beat after beat. And that's what I enjoy doing. That may sound miserable to other people, you know, but
Yeah,
I
but
just,
it's yours.
Yes.
Choice.
Yes. If it's mine, I have possession of my own means of production and a product that I can do whatever I want with, and no one can tell me otherwise, as long as it comes out of here and not just yeah, you know.
No, I get it. We are inundated by the Muggles that we have
Yes.
to be a certain thing.
Yeah.
Now I've been outcast among outcasts for most of my life. And this this needing to do things according to their formula sucks. Okay.
I understand.
I don't live my life that way. I'm not going to. And I never have. And when I
Right.
have attempted to conform, I have been punished for it. I will not be punished by those people anymore.
I
So there we
appreciate
are.
that sentiment. I really appreciate that sentiment because, yeah, like Nathan said, I am an underground DJ. I'm not like I'm not one of these guys that would play a wedding appropriately. I'm one of these guys that would more likely fit into a street cipher as the beatboxer than that.
So I'll tell my son that you're available for when he marries again.
That'll be awesome. We'll do a really spooky set. Hopefully he marries in October.
His first marriage is spooky enough for me. That was just pride. So
yeah. This is.
So I am joking. She was a pretty decent girl, but you know how some people can be perfectly fine. A person is good, B person is fine. A and B equals poison.
Ooh,
yeah. No, I don't want to do that anymore.
Oh, shoot. Hold on, y'all.
What'd you do?
I forgot to send Keith the link.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm on it. He said he was interested, and I just totally forgot.
Maybe drop him a text message too. Just
yeah, I can't.
Let him know that you have not.
His network does not like my network.
Oh. How about if I drop it?
Sure.
I can do that.
Just tell him to check Facebook.
Yeah, once you get equipment that's communicating working, then classically the situation is to keep it working. So I try not to touch things once I have communication established.
Right, me too. if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I do that. Unless it's dual exhaust and I have a single pipe, then I'm going to do that.
There's something to be said about when in doubt, force about, though. A nut can't be stuck if it's liquefied.
Right.
Liquefied? What does that mean?
That means
blowtorch.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. I would send out.
Okay, I sent him a message. I sent him the link. Yeah, awesome, thank you.
I sent him a text too.
Yeah, for some strange Canadian reason, I can receive anything from him, but I cannot call him and I cannot text him. I get errors or cannot be or unreachable.
It's your phone line doesn't have Canadian capability.
I guess.
I found a carrier so that I could call him whenever I needed to, and he could call us.
Yeah, from my area, T-Mobile is the most stable. However,
there's the problem right there, though.
Yeah, T-Mobile doesn't have that. Canadian, they need to, like,
seriously pull themselves into the 70s.
But yeah, pull them. Get with the
program.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna get a whole bunch of Canadians totally ticked at me. I don't mean to do that.
That's okay. I
We've
mean,
got
come on,
knives and shit.
T-Mobile.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, shout out to T-Mobile. Get with the maple syrup and hockey. Come on, y'all.
Oh yeah,
So,
damn right.
yeah, as Sarah is reminding us from the first hour, Tim and her are celebrating 10th anniversary.
Many
Hell yeah.
congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Against
been
all odds.
First 10's the hardest. Next 10's not as hard.
I
10
believe that.
after that, it's a little bit jumpy, but it can be done.
What's neat about 10 years is this is when we said we were going to get married, but we got married about 2.3 years in instead.
So you've been together for 10 years.
Yes.
Storm and I've been together for 26. And,
It's beautiful. That is always beautiful.
You know, it was like taking off a tight pair of slippers and sliding into just the most comfortable.
Nice.
You know, we make each other happy, and that's what.
Yeah, and I don't. When I
And
said
I-
against
yeah,
all
boy, it's
odds, I didn't mean personally. I meant like this thing on this
anybody's
hell
getting married.
ball.
Yeah, be careful. I listen to some pretty emo stuff. So, like, you know, there's some song titles and stuff that's not about, you know.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat is saying happy 10th, man.
Oh yeah.
We love you.
anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah.
the decadence. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
We-
really staying married, you know, in this day and age
Mhm.
has been the fun part. And you know, being able to try some things that maybe they don't work out, but hey, when you're truly comfortable with each other, you can, you know,
Yeah.
and whether
Aw.
it's the brand new going camping or doing ice skating for the first time,
Yeah.
you know, all possibilities.
We're hitting up seafood tomorrow.
Cool.
Ooh, yummers.
Some experimentation, if you know what I mean. I don't normally eat fish. She loves it, and I don't care for it.
Is it
But
fish
I
or is it
love
shellfish you
making
don't
her
like?
happy. I like shellfish.
Well,
But
have shellfish.
I'll be shellfish.
There you go. You know, scallops and crab and
Yeah.
maybe lobster or something like that.
Oh
It's all
yeah.
good.
There's definitely lobster and crabs will be on the menu tomorrow. The place we're going in is actually I'll just shout out to them. It's a place called Mighty Crab in Fort Smith, and the plates are pretty spendy, but it's our anniversary, and it's a good place to get fresh seafood that's been imported directly from the coast instead of stuff that's dangerously set on shelf for a week.
Yeah. You know.
AKA the gas station stuff.
Yeah.
Keith,
know,
you're trying to come in and says, okay, here we go. Keith, welcome back to the Quantum
There you
panel.
are.
Thanks for joining us basically for our second hour panel.
Yay!
We're 48 minutes out. So can you
it's
hear
all
us?
been tech issues, so don't
I can hear you fine.
Oi,
Boy,
loud.
oh boy. We can hear
I'm
you
gonna-
fine too.
I'm gonna adjust your mic settings. Give us a sound check, Keith.
I'm still here.
Okay,
That's
Yeah,
good.
you're going to have to adjust it because I got no idea how to do it on my end.
I got
It's all
you.
good.
I got you on that one. Okay, you sound good. Welcome back to the panel, Keith. Thanks for coming by, man.
See,
Well,
I
I'd like to
fish.
say not a problem, but there are extenuating circumstances on that comment.
Extenuating. Okay.
What?
He rescued the show the first half.
You want to try that again?
You rescued the show on the first half. Thank you.
Well, yeah, there's no problem. That's why I have to. Other people were having because I've known that my energy or that my tech will shut down on occasion.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just a simple phone call.
Okay, doke. Well, it's good to have you here now. I'm glad you could come by.
Your show was sure good.
Yeah,
early
and
on.
I caught you most of your talk on Dave's show. I caught most of it, but
Yeah.
it was the audience questions that kind of work picked up. Let me say that. You know, I was just waiting for what do aliens taste like question to come up again, and I was like, oh boy.
Chicken? I'm just saying. Everyone's pretty much tasting like chicken these days.
Yeah,
Well,
and
just do. I'll let you go there.
man, the panel, we just love to spin out to the sidelines, don't we? We went
I'm
from
sorry. I have a sense of humor that I can't hold back.
that's cool, dude. No, but
We're in the right company for that.
yeah,
At least over here.
the Keith, the topic that I was working with in the beginning was living life in the Muggle world, more Muggle living.
Oh,
right?
I saw the first panel, the first hour.
Yeah. And you know what? That honey that I got, it works. It works so well. That Manuka stuff from New Zealand, that I put that in my coffee, and I was like, wow, raw, unfiltered, nothing Manuka honey. I like the local stuff, but that's like powerhouse of energy stuff. I'm like, wow, cool.
That's what my problem is.
I had recently gotten some raw honey, and that stuff's lovely.
Oh yeah, I had the Echo running on it.
Okay.
You have the other show running?
I had this show running. Because see, on the little monitor, on my little monitor on the laptop, I can't read what is being said in the chat room. So I run the other one, but I forgot to I run the YouTube one at the same time, but I forgot to shut off the speaker to it. So I was getting double feed.
Okay. Yeah, we're always having. Hey, it wouldn't be a paranormal show without technical problems. Yeah.
When we first started learning to do this stuff, when we first started learning to do this stuff, it was 20, 30 minutes straight up trying to figure out tech. And this has smoothed out a lot, whether it's Keith's show or your show or whomever. We've begun to understand how to do it.
Yeah, it's on everyone's end. It's on our end and the servers guys. You know, they're making it not so hard. And
right.
And you know what? StreamYard just jacked up the prices.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. I'm gonna keep on. I'm okay with it because we got pretty good quality of stuff. So
yeah.
Storm went over to another one for Keith's show, but that's had its learning curve.
Yeah, they all
both of us really. But it's we're getting good quality and we're doing pretty well with it.
Yeah.
And it's about what StreamYard was before.
Yeah, well, StreamYard is upping their game, and I don't mind paying the increased price. At least not.
They're adding a lot of options there that well, frankly, we're just not using yet.
Right.
When we go to use them, we might go ahead and go back to StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do some, I say it every time, live interviews and on the spot stuff, but it's been so difficult because you can't just walk up to somebody and go, okay, you want to do an online interview? Let me set it up. Give me 10 minutes. No, they're like, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to go get coffee. I'm on my way to get the kids and this and that.
Yeah, you got you. You're ready or you're not, buddy.
Right.
Yeah,
and I just got, well, recently, I got the sign in, go live option. That wasn't an option for me before. It just
Right.
recently kind of became an option. So that's good. And even though I don't get the big viewership when I just bang out a live real quick, it's there, you know, and that's
Right.
fine. That's fine. So ups and downs, but it still works. I'm making it work at least as much as I can.
Well, like I said, the tech issue. Once you got it figured out, it's figured out.
Yeah,
And you can go
yeah.
from there.
Like Tim said, once it's working, leave it alone
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
it stops working again. Until it needs to be liquid.
You were talking about some stuff in your show earlier that was just absolutely fascinating, Keith, about the Anunnaki and your theories about how their civilization
Their
transpired
civilization is a whole
and
different ballgame,
yeah,
which is one of the problems here. But we've got a much bigger problem on this planet than anybody realized.
Do tell.
Well, number one, technology has evolved to the point of being almost detrimental. Well, never mind being almost. The way technology has evolved and the way people have bought into it has decimated communication lines in the physical world. Yes, we can reach around the world, absolutely. But reaching around the world when people aren't communicating isn't going to help.
Yeah, that's a mixture of technology and the
fear.
technology is there. We're not utilizing it the way we could to establish good. Like we have, why do we still have enemies? You know, I don't
Right.
understand that. And
Oh, I can clear that one up in one heck of a hurry. Because people have bought into the idea that the Muggles are the ones that are the problem. That's why why there are still enemies. It is not the governments and the media moguls and the so-called elites that are causing the problem. All they're doing is putting putting a match there. But you got to remember, everybody that is a member of those groups is human to start with. Now, I'm a firm believer that 95% of people are really decent people. So if you look at that, out of 8 billion-ish, about 800 million are really nice people. Okay, but the moment anybody turns around and says marketing is being handled by the big people, no, it's not. Do not get me wrong. You put something on Facebook and it's put out there, but it's a fact that people are taking it and turning around and blaming, oh, they put that there, I'm being forced to buy, or I'm being forced to do this. You know, it has gotten bad enough. I saw this happen in another civilization. Heck, I saw this happen in Rome, where people were told this is all the elite's fault. It is not. You know, you take a look at what you were talking about with Taylor Swift.
yes,
Now, absolutely, you know, she is capitalizing on what's there. But when we start looking at the issue of people that are going into and I forget exactly how you phrased it, but the idea of, how did you put it? You used the phrase. There were 3 words you put back to back.
Yeah. Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Obey, consume, reproduce.
Right. Number 1, what in your definition is a psyop?
A psyop is a psychological. It's called psychological operation. It is the propaganda machine putting out media, music, meaning music and news and television, and putting things out in the forefront
Okay.
to influence people's thought processes.
Taking that definition, you do realize there are 8 billion people, roughly, myself included, that
Yeah.
are part of the PSYOP.
Yes.
Well,
I
yeah,
agree. But that's because of the psyops going on in other countries that we're now being
No,
aware of.
it's because of the individual receiving it. Understand, I watch, when I watch what's going on, and I see this happen all the time, and no offense at all intended there, Timothy,
Go
but
ahead.
the psyops going on in other countries. Take a look at, now I'm in Canada, okay, we have marketing. You realize, let's take a look at a woman's best friend, aka the diamond. One of the most common rocks on the planet, second virtually only to granite.
I agree.
Because
And it's
market-
all owned by the Boers cartel.
It's all by the witch?
The Bears
Bears.
cartel? The Bears.
Yeah, the big names. I do not give them
There's a
any
number.
more weight than I give you or Lynn or Nathan.
And you shouldn't.
Now, absolutely. I am probably, as I said on my own show just today, I am probably one of the most well-developed pessimistic cynics on the planet. Because I take a look at what people are doing, and I refuse to look at it and go, the big names are the problem. It was said best in A Bug's Life. Okay, where they said one person won't make any difference at all, but you take all the ants and get them all together. Now you've got a problem. When we stop separating ourselves from the so-called elites, we won't have the problem.
right. And therein lies the psyop part, that people are being massively told this is what you should think.
You do realize telling people that, okay, what you're actually doing is telling them, here's an excuse for you.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm not saying that is not correct at all. That's correct.
You realize
I agree with
psyops.
that. There's your excuse. You can just hop right on that, and you won't have to be responsible for any of it.
Tim?
I was saying, you realize that psyops are like, it holds a negative connotation.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Positive, negative, psyop is psyop. It's just when you say psyop,
people don't think of positive, happy. Let's do a birthday party for the army. They're like, it's always more nefarious stuff like, let's hide fucking cocaine. Sorry, we're in the second half, right?
Yes.
Let's hide.
Nice recovery there, Jim.
Let's hide cocaine in LA neighborhoods so that the budget counters at the CIA, what went on with Reagan is what I'm saying.
Well, I
it's
believe
so complicated.
Unless people themselves begin to take the rein, get their buggy in their lane, and start taking responsibility where they need to take it, and that is to say, take care of your yard, your family, your opinions, keep them yours, and move along. I think things would straighten up a lot. Now, will it fix it all? No. But it will straighten up a good bit of it. And
a part of that, what led me into talking about Gen Z, was they're not wanting to participate in all that stuff. And I think
they don't have to.
That's the edge.
Or the responsibility, or just taking advantage of their lives at this time.
Well,
go ahead, Tim. There's members of Gen Z who have opted to withdraw completely from society.
Where are they living?
with their parents mostly, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I'm not Gen Z, so I'm not afraid to call them out.
Where am I saying it wrong? Where am I saying it wrong? Because
you're not.
until everybody decides to, I've got kids living at home because they can't live out in the world. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. We all pull together here. We all make sure that all of our bills are paid, and I say ours. And everybody is pulling in the same direction. I've got Millennium, I've got Boomer, I've got Gen Z in this household, and everybody's got their shit together.
That's beautiful. I've seen a lot of my sister up in Oregon. Her name is Erica. Shout out to Erica. She's got a very big household with lots of children of various age groups, and that's my connection with Gen Z's weird sense of humor.
I'm sorry, I said Gen Z, I meant Gen X, and that's a weird sense of humor too.
Yeah. Technically, we are Gen X. Well, I don't want to ask a lady. But a boomer. I am on the edge. Boomer. I am on the edge. Yeah.
I'm the tail end. I'm in the last year of the boomer years.
Yeah, I was 76. I was 76. I was a drawdown year.
Yeah.
During the 70s, we weren't having as many babies because
the end of the Gen X, right?
Yeah, the very end of the Gen X.
Or no,
I get a kick out of it.
Millennials.
I understand why people are using
the beginning of the millennials.
I understand people using different terms as in Boomer, Gen X, Gen Z.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have one little problem with that. I lump everybody onto the same bin and go, "You're all human."
Yes.
Yeah.
And age is no excuse. It's no compensation. The fact that, admittedly, my generation absolutely dropped the ball when we took the control when we took discipline out of the educational systems and said flat out, "You can't tell my kid what to do." Well, nobody's telling the kids what to do. And they're becoming adults that have no clue how to do it.
Well, and the boomers dropped the ball.
Absolutely, that's why I my generation.
Because not only did we say, no, we're not going to have beatings in school anymore. We're not going to have the screaming and the condescension, But the problem is that Boomer decided that it was the school's job. And the school says, "What the hell you want me to do? You tied my hands behind my back." There it is.
There's that. There's also the point at which people started saying verbally assaulted and separated that into anything verbal being assault. You feel me?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. You want verbal assault? You should have grew up with my father.
Right. I mean,
and verbal, and a whole bunch of mental anguish to get thrown on top of it.
I mean, I understand you can say some pretty horrible things to somebody that they can fear you or love you or whatever, but my father was very, very physically abusive, and very rarely were his assaults psychological. I mean, that was a rarity. That was something
he made a strong decision to
right.
Job done.
The problem here is it's become taboo. You take a look. We can look at the whole thing, and you got to remember, I have a big problem with, in as much as I see where society is heading. I tried warning people when I was here in Rome. I tried warning them that they were going down a bad road. They ignored me. They ended up with the outcome. Why I keep coming back to this same thing and telling people the same thing over and again, I have no functional idea. What I can tell you is if we continue putting people into control positions that, number one, don't live long enough to deal with the side effects of their decisions. And when we make laws that are absolutely ridiculous and counter, they actually are counterproductive. We have a problem. Only people keep looking at it like, for instance, it's the banking moguls that are causing the problem with the economy.
I feel you, Rachel.
Yeah, me too. Dizzy's one word for it.
I agree. This is why my ex-wife actually told me I was the only true racist she'd ever met. Because everybody looks at the different labels and goes, "Oh, you're from this generation. You sleep with this type of person. You worship this type of person. You're this color." She goes, "Everybody lines them up." She goes, "Keith, you look at the whole lot of them and go, you're all human. Grow up. You're all off the rail." And unfortunately, you take a look at a real simple one that makes no sense. Why, pray tell, do we have such wonderful situations and nobody talking about it because it's taboo? Why do we have such situations as you're not allowed to drink and drive? That's illegal. Which I agree with, don't get me wrong. But with that in mind, why does a pub have to have X number of parking stalls when you can't drink and drive, you can't leave your car overnight? Right. Why do we even have drive-thrus? Now, yes, I am talking about going back about 40 years where things were a lot simpler. It's just, this idea of blaming everybody else doesn't work for me.
Well, there was a time when you could just crawl on the horse and say, "Let's go home, Betsy." Drop the rein, go to sleep. When you arrived, you were home.
Yeah, we're still evolving from that.
Yeah, no,
Right.
we're trying to get back
really
to
not.
it with the self-driving cars.
Here's the sad part there.
And the alcohol.
About 6 months ago, I printed my grandmother's autobiography from the early 1900s. Okay. Now, the sad reality of it is the way people are treating each other today, the way the government is sidelining things, and the way the religious factions are absolutely ignoring reality is identical to 100 years ago. It hasn't changed. You're not learning.
Now let's.
I'm sorry.
Let's just keep. You're not learning, meaning society, right? Not us.
Right.
Not us.
Right.
But society.
I have
to be honest, and I know this is going to piss somebody off. To be honest, I wasn't isolating anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I
haven't.
have political
it's microverse
that is over 30 years old. It is commenting on the same people as well as the same situations. Now, there you are. That gives you validation completely, Keith.
Go ahead, Tim.
Just from 30 years ago.
I was just saying it as a micro versus macro thing. That's to say that we're like, sometimes you're arguing about something happening on a subatomic level when it's more appropriately to circumlocute somewhere on the outer space level. And we don't always figure out where to gauge between the micro and the macro. It creates tension.
Well, that was the funny thing with what my father taught me. Okay, and I'm just going to relate it to the dollar side. Because my dad told me flat out, you take care of the pennies. And, you take care of the pennies. and the dollars will take care of themselves. When the microcosm is out of sync, and this is why I say people have to, we've got to take care of our home first. But when the microcosm is out of sync, the macrocosm will collapse.
Mm-hmm. And vice versa.
Yeah, but the macrocosm can't collapse without the microcosm going first.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. Drop a nuke, the macrocosm collapses.
Right.
Okay, and this is where I say Gen Z is born different. And they haven't been given the ample opportunity to make those changes. Me, Tim, and Storm, and you, all of us, we haven't had a chance to drag this world back up from its bootstraps using ultimate science technology knowledge.
No.
Right? We haven't had
No,
this.
that's right. We're not going to have a chance.
It was yanked away from us. However, Gen Z, these guys coming up right now, these teenagers, and even the Gen Alphas, right? They're learning, and they're not the same types. And,
yeah, but what are they learning?
Right. Bring in the starseed idea, the enigma of the starseeds. Okay. Now, I don't know where it's coming from, but they're coming in with prior knowledge that is not here. You know what I mean? They're coming in with psychic knowledge, and I am saying that, right?
I've seen that.
Yes, psychic knowledge. They're coming in with the positive affirmation that this could be better, and I want better. And it's like a positive affirmation for them, not like what I do is like, I'm going to tell people. They're doing it in a different, they're going about it in a different method, right? And I don't think this starseed thing has happened before, going all the way back to Rome. Okay, I don't think this kind of thing has happened. Yeah, there have been revolutions, like technological advancements, but you know what? Where are the flying cars? Gen C is going to have them, right?
Yeah.
They're going to see all this weird tech that I have stumbled across, and they're going to go, huh, I'm going to make it out of Legos. I tried it, and then I had to like Gen X myself back into work and not doing anything else, right? But seriously, Gen Z, now and the millennials, I will complain with all those Gen X guys. I'll say, okay, well, the dad bod veteran and all those guys on the socials. I will joke sarcastically right alongside them. However, I know that they're made from really different stuff. I mean, way different, not human like we've had up to this point. But go ahead.
I would point out that the Gen Z and the hippie movement of the 60s are very similar.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
however,
there is more knowledge on this one. But
yeah, the hippie movement.
They're not the first people to try this.
Oh no,
not at all.
They had the refined human knowledge because it had gotten pretty bad at that time. I wasn't there, so I can't really say too much about it. But from what they tell me, they say they saw that they had like refined human stuff going on. But these starseeds, Gen Z guys, right? They've got refined out there knowledge. They're coming in with new information, and that is where I can say I have, some experience talking to the Click Clack Mantis people. That was a lot of new information, and
and it's probably still turning up.
Oh, I can't process it. There's
still but that's my point. It's still in there.
This is why I'm running into the biggest problem. Is the fact that I sit here and I literally question my own sanity all the time, but then I get the corroboration from other people. Problem is, I'm processing stuff faster than they are, and I mean faster than the click lock. Okay. No, I'm not better than anybody else, but I've definitely run out of tolerance for a lot of it. The reality of it is, I refuse to point the finger at anybody but me for my own stuff, for my own issues.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, my processing problem is I don't have compound eyes, and they were sending compound eye images. I don't have the hardware to receive. I can receive images, but it's from their perspective. My little, my little VGA connection could not receive their HDMI signals, and it's like, I got the Atari going on over here while they're broadcasting PlayStation.
That much I will absolutely agree with.
Yeah, I mean, so.
But unfortunately, what's happening, the people you're saying are coming in, they're calling themselves Star Thieves. And I will tell you right now, if they're bringing in information, they're not telling anybody, and they're certainly not utilizing it. I've seen the way these civilizations evolve, and what the new generation is doing is not going to lead to evolution.
Maybe devaluation.
Yeah.
It'll lead to which, Lynn?
Maybe devaluation. What
devaluation and a total disregard for responsibility.
There's a whole generation of children who are coming in unable to read, unable to do math sums, simple math.
But they understand emojis better than you and me.
Sure
all right. They can't handle their bank account, don't have any functional means of surviving in our society. What's going to happen to them?
Oh, there's no problem with that. I don't know if you recall
that
what
bothers
happened.
me a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know if you recall what happened when they finally, when the people finally got fed up with the monarchies. If you recall what came out of that, we're going to get the same thing all over again.
Anarchy.
Well, various variations, i.e., they're not likely to use the guillotine.
We're likely not to see this level of technological, whatever you call it, for another 1,000 years after they're done with this cycle.
Do you mean the progress, or do you mean just even getting to this place?
What people are calling, they're calling it several things, depending on their religion or what they are or whatnot, but a reset. A financial and historical reset is what's going on. These things generally take about 1,000 years. There's a lot of climate refugees, and it completely upends things. And then after 100-year war like this, there's a different society that is put out, and you learn it from your government and your mom and your dad and the people who survived.
Ultimately, you're correct, Timothy. The problem is this. We're not looking at another 1,000 years before we get back.
I am, but that's...
I have no doubt you are.
Yeah.
I'm not debating what you're seeing. I'm just warning you. If society carries down this path, we're back in the Stone Age.
I realize that I am a heretic for what I believe. And yes, I think that they can make it back to here in 1,000 years from a Stone Age bombing or ecological reset or whatever is going on.
I'd love to agree.
It's just not going to be the same
really
people.
It depends an awful lot if we destroy ourselves or not. And
We're not going to be the same people.
I'm talking about human beings.
And that's the one difference I will disagree with there, Tim. The people that are operating these bodies will be the same thinking process.
I think so in about 1,000 years, yes. But I don't know about how we're going to get. We've talked about this before. Because of my head injury, I perceive time a little bit different. And I can't see right in front of me, but I can see a block that's about 800 to 1,300 years out.
Now, what would you do if I told you that this can be turned around in less than a decade if people start paying attention?
I totally believe you, because we should be dismantling Mercury right now and moving the stars back into alignment where they belong.
No, they are where they belong.
I
Mercury
disagree.
is exactly where it should have been.
Yes. Okay, now we agree.
Yeah, one of us is going clockwise, the other one's going counterclockwise. You will meet.
Yes. It is very, very important that happen too, and that it happens over and over and over, because otherwise we're dealing with the heat death of the universe. If you don't have this thing in balance, this thing that we live in is a 3D engine that represents the universe we originally came from. I'm sorry. I'd rather not beat around the bush and argue about what it is and just say what it is. We live in a 3D engine. It is not a simulation. It is an engine.
Ultimately correct. But I will agree wholeheartedly. The people that tell me we're moving into a fourth dimension, we're moving into a fifth dimension, you're in a 3 dimension, period.
Yes.
Do not get me wrong. There are 12 dimensions I'm aware of.
Right. But I can't see them.
Yeah.
Like
but
Nathan
there
was
are
saying.
A few people that can. They can see the other dimension.
But I don't see with my eyes. I'm sorry. Keith, I think, sees it too. And I think that you see a different angle. And I think Nathan sees a different angle. I think that part of why we're all attracted to this group is because we all see different angles of this big quantum picture that's going on. And what I see is spinning light engines in the sky. I really see spinning light engines in the sky. What you all see is running way, way slower than what's going on in my mind. Like,
no, I understand what you're saying.
Yes. The others, the Muggles that he's talking about, are just people who just seem to not be aware of the fact that they're in such a complex system.
2 or 3D. They don't.
Yeah, the others can be the Muggles on one end of it, but the others I'm also talking about are the non-humans. They also are in the same. If this is a simulation, which I don't believe we are, like you say, that's a very good analogy. We're in an engine, but they're all in the same engine. They just. I refer back to my chart that I had a few shows ago. If we're here, then they're here, and they're also here, and we're all dipping back and forth momentarily, either with technology or innate ability.
Well, when you look at each individual has an entire lifetime mixed with others, and we many of us have a belief system that says that goes along with karma, and some of us have more evolved ones, some have less, but each of us have our lifetime, and that's its own
energy.
And then there's in this world 8 billion 8 billion experiences.
Yeah,
all
and
running
at least,
at the same
and we're at
time.
the start. We're at the start of this thing.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
like
funny
a pyramid scheme of life.
Yeah. Couple of things there, right? We're always going to be at the start. Hold on, Keith. We're always going to be at the start because the now is the now. The now is the start of tomorrow. And also, you said 8 billion of us? Yeah. And that's like, I look at it as like a quantum distributed network. And we're all microprocessors doing part of the bigger job.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on top of it, those microprocessors are all connected.
Right. Quantum subnetworking.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's mind-boggling, and that we don't agree here and there should not surprise us. You know, where we do agree should surprise us. You know, and it does. But here we are, trying to make sense of our world, and it has been a difficult feat to bring us all together. And obviously, so our governments, each one have their own uh, propulsion.
Yeah.
And yeah, like and subscribe if you're here. You're quantum.
See, I can make up. I can have terms just like the big guys. Quantum link distributed layered subnetworking. That's humans.
That's it's true.
Keith, you had a terrific show earlier, and you talked about the Anunnaki, and I sure would like to hear some more about that.
Sure.
The Anunnaki evolved on Earth. I was thinking they were off-world until just within the last 2 or 3 days.
That's what I thought.
The Anunnaki actually evolved on Earth, but they are the only species I've run into that never developed an inkling for war. They looked at the size that they had grown to because of the oxygenation of the planet and went, and it's a proven fact, you increase oxygen levels in the human genome, the brain works more effectively.
Right.
Well, in the case of the Anunnaki, their brain outran their size even. And they went, we have a problem. We're not going to be able to function on this planet for that long. The arrival of the consortium was something that was not planned, but it was something the consortium picked up because as the Anunnaki grew in their brain, their intelligence, they were emanating the information that drew the consortium, who got here and went, okay, no way we can bring these guys up to speed technologically. We've got to get them someplace where they can function. And they wanted to go. Now, I got it on very good authority in order to avoid genetic collapse because of interbreeding. You would have to have a minimum of 200 mated pairs. Okay. Well, as you can well imagine, and we've seen, they're uncovering now bones upon bones of the Anunnaki. They're uncovering giant bones. Okay. Proving that the giants were here. Well, the giants were the Anunnaki. Some of them stayed behind because they like humans, meant, but this is the land I grew up on. So they were picked up. The consortium brought in transport ships. We are not talking transport ships the size of the Titanic. We're talking transport ships the size of the moon.
Yeah.
Okay. To pick up people and dinosaurs. Okay. Dinosaurs because they had the mass to feed the 30-foot people. When they got them out there, that's when the Anunnaki started developing their own technology to build the ship that they're coming back in. But they're not coming back to take over. Picture, if you will, you moved away from your hometown and you went back to see what your hometown looked like 30 years later. They've got the same idea, just a whole lot more than 30 years. So what we're looking at is 3 races that have evolved on Earth. One extremely peaceable, one extremely creative, and the other one absolutely. Humans were built for war. They were built for combat. Okay, but because of the triple helix between them, they are very easy to repair. And they reproduce like rabbits.
See, that's also backing up the idea we were built for war, because war kills. You need to replenish the supply of human beings as quickly as possible.
Well, the idea was actually because of what they were fighting that they needed a race that could actually reproduce in a hurry. Therefore, they were genetically accelerated. The Anunnaki wouldn't have any part of it, right? Mind you, that's probably a good thing. The Anunnaki took off. The Lemurians emigrated from Earth after the war was over. Okay. This is why when people say, are there any off-worlders that match, that can pass for human? The Lemurians absolutely can, or what are now known as the Mobians. But what we've got going on this planet, never mind all the big cosmic stuff, what we've got on this planet is two massive problems. And it's going to take people standing up and going, we can't tolerate this anymore. One of the biggest problems we have, and it got put to me really succinctly the other day, humans have lost their humanity. They've lost track of the idea of taking care of each other, never mind themselves. But the Anunnaki figured out they never did separate male and female, aside from one aspect. And the one aspect they separated male and female from was reproduction. Okay. Other than that, they are a binary organism, just like humans are. And I'm not talking about what people relate to. That could care less. I could care less about that. I think. I don't know how I pull it off. But when you're looking at a binary organism, aka physically speaking, you're looking at male and female. The Anunnaki simply looked at it and went, doesn't matter what your gender, doesn't matter what your skin color, if you're doing the job, you're getting the same pay. Okay. If you're more capable than the next person, you're taking lead. What we have right now is a society that is absolutely bent on blaming other people. And I'll tell you, the problem lies right smack in the mirror. The Anunnaki, like I've met some of them, and the reality is you can take what you will from that. Okay. The Anunnaki, on the whole, are really congenial individuals. But they don't cotton to the idea of blaming anybody for their actions except themselves. And that's on a racial side. That's not just, that's overall. And what I'm seeing with Earth is humans around the world all behave the same way. Okay. And I know that's going to sound insulting. And for that, I'll apologize. But I can't do anything about the reality behind it. Take a look at anybody around the world. They desire food on the table. They desire a roof over their head. They desire to be treated with respect. They desire to be accepted anywhere in the world. If they're happy, they smile or laugh. If they're sad, they cry or they frown, depending. Ultimately, Nathan, you are right. Nathan, just for those of you that didn't catch it, he's just posted here, government has put the idea out to fear the return of the Anunnaki. Let me explain something. That is correct. But humans across the world are taught a very simple thing. Fear that which you do not understand. That which you fear, strive to destroy. That which you fear, strive to control. That which you cannot control, strive to destroy. And that which you cannot destroy, fear. Now, as long as that teaching continues, this society will continue to go down a downhill spiral. Only this time we're not talking about getting set back and having a few less people. This time we're talking about losing all of the knowledge for even doing the simple thing like mining. To dig metal out of the ground. We're losing the ability. Okay. How many people in today's world, comparatively, realistically speaking, could go out in the woods and actually, if they had to, build a log cabin, or for that matter, harvest any food? Yeah, you could. Problem. The rest of the world, all of that knowledge is going the way of the dodo bird, and the young people aren't getting it because it's no longer available.
Well, and even in my circumstance, I'm not going to last more than about 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. If there's like a world takeover, my diabetes medication is going to run out. I'm going to get really, really skinny, really, really quick, and start to.
Now,
you'll die. What you do is, I told you, Tim, diabetes is curable today.
No. The diabetes, we don't even have to discuss that. I'm saying it could be curable.
The average person who has these things are going to die.
Yeah, we're all going to die, and that's just the likely scenario.
Yeah.
Cinnamon's good. I like cinnamon. It helps balance your blood sugars in a very natural way.
The thing that we're basically saying is not the curing of today's illness, but say tomorrow it's all gone, and that can happen.
Yes.
Anyone who is on any sort of life-saving drug, depending on what they have to go on with, is not going to last very long. It doesn't matter whether it's 6 months or a year, because these medications only last 3 to 6 months, maybe a year. So we got that to think about. But the knowledge itself is not being passed.
Yes, the knowledge is being lost.
The human race would have a better chance. But as it is, we have technologically advanced ourselves out of survival in the basics.
Yes,
I think that's what you're trying to say.
This is why I say technology. Yes, we can talk to each other. We've got that reach,
but we can't fix the satellite anymore.
Ultimately,
Just saying. There's that musketeer group.
There's a bigger compounding problem. The people coming into this world are not coming in with the interest to fix the satellite.
No.
Right.
In deference to the way you phrased it.
Yes. I often phrase things in mysterious ways. Feel free to make any corrections.
Oh no, that was pretty much clear cut from my end.
We phrase those things nowhere else are they understandable except the Quantum Show. Let me tell you, and our people in the chat, we can do it. The rest of the Muggles can't.
At this point, I'll say what it is with me. It's stream of consciousness. It's late at night. It's 12:23 here, past midnight, exactly. And I'm more relaxed. I've taken my medication. After the Quantum Show, I usually go right to bed. And
me too. I will be tonight.
Saturdays are great. I look forward to them like every week. And those who know us really well. Mushroom gummies sound great. I'm going to try them on your recommendation, Nathan.
Clear thought. That's what they do for me. Clarity of thought. Not trip. Clarity of thought. They let the neurons fire better for me.
I totally get you either way. I mean, I'm not the type of person to say what one should or shouldn't take, because I have my biology rewritten so that I can only eat chicken by a tick. Things happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what one person takes and trips out for like 7 days and says no one should ever take again, another person needs for cancer.
Exactly.
That rung a bell. You rung a bell.
That's just it. One of the things that I told Storm, and it's been a long time ago, when he had to take some of the stronger medication for his back, he had broken it, was that this will only work. Oops, I think we lost Nathan.
Yeah.
He said he'll be back.
Okay.
He said he'll be back this time.
I
heard him.
One of the things that I told Storm was that this medication will not make you high unless you do not need it. You know, and it
That's
was
a good
specific
recommendation.
kind of narcotic. And he got up one day, took regular meds, and he said, "I am buzzing." And I said, "You are not taking that anymore. You don't need it." He goes,
Yeah.
"Well, I have pain." I said, "I think your pain is probably moving back into a place where you can treat it a little less aggressively." And we worked on that. But every time he moves into a getting high situation, at that point he can move back into a circumstance where he can use less medication.
Right.
So that experiment was an absolute success.
Yes. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay.
Hi, Nathan. We're glad to see you.
Yeah, I had to clear up my data stream for a minute. I couldn't put out. I needed to grab this information and I posted it. Ibogaine. I heard someone.
What is that?
It is not wanted here in the United States because of the medical complex that we have here. Ibogaine. This lady went to South America or Mexico or some. I don't remember. It was on a Joe Rogan short. She went and
Okay.
got, or this dude got Ibogaine treatment. It fixed Lyme disease. It fixed it. It eradicated it. Same thing with hornet stings. But
yeah,
the nice part is
like bee venom was declined for a very long time in the medical community, and they're finally realizing, oh, wait a minute, maybe this works.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems to create an altered state of consciousness, which is what they were all worried about.
Right.
But on the other end of things, it fights neurotoxicity. I got it pulled up.
Okay.
And it seems like a pretty benign substance outside of the fact that, you know, you trip balls when you take it. But I'm like, I knew a friend, his name was Daniel. Shout outs to Daniel. You'll like this story. He got bit by a spider, a brown recluse, back when we were in high school. And they put him on a medication that had a psychoactive warning. And he said that he tripped balls and saw spiders every fucking where for 3 weeks while that brown recluse.
Oh my God!
Right. I've heard of this.
That would be right
I've heard
off
of this.
the table for Frank. No spiders, no. And yet, snake venom in certain applications is medication.
Right. It depends on the situation.
Yeah,
I don't think our physicians should be limited with their pharmacopoeia anywhere.
Well, I don't think they should be limiting themselves either. You know, it's become, well, we could go into a politic thing, and let's don't do it. You know, we're getting towards the end of our show, and that let's just don't do it.
There's a
Follow
whole
the
big
money
thing. Yeah,
trail if you want to do the research.
Yeah.
right. And I have noticed, you know what? That I've noticed another thing, that the insect world has licked a lot of these problems. The insect and
Yes.
reptilian, and they have licked a lot of these problems. And spiders are one, snakes are another, bees and wasps and hornets are another. They're
Well, they're looking at certain kinds of reptiles that grow back a limb, hoping to follow that
yeah.
back so that we can maybe do the same for our own species.
Well, you know what? It's as far as my little bit of research and stuff has come, it is in our DNA to do exactly that.
Okay,
Yes.
let me explain something to you with this genetic hogwash that they're pulling. I only just found out, I just got it reconfirmed today. Some idiot out there in the scientific realm, and I have no idea who, has decided that taking cells from meat, from cattle, or from deer, and mixing it into vegetables is a bright idea.
Oh no!
No, that's
terrible.
not. That's
horrible.
I agree, it's horrible. Unfortunately, I just had
somebody
confirmed.
who needs to understand why he's doing
just
something.
a little while, just within the last week, I came across this again. Now, I will tell you,
that actually has been going on for several decades.
Yeah,
I will tell
I
you.
don't doubt that. Problem. I tell people what I see and they go, where's your proof? 30 years down the road, you'll find it.
Right.
I think you could probably find it now.
You can find it now. I said I can.
These researchers, and a good many of them are going on in Japan and China.
Bad news. They're going on in Canada, the States, Russia,
it's
the
all
Ukraine.
Of them now. I think you're right, but I had found it from Japan. And in China, trying to take a body and reattach a head, and all of the nerve endings and musculature, and the rest of it, putting that together. And
anybody remember Frankenstein?
Yeah, I do. And that's what I thought of at the time. Are we creating something here that is going to be detrimental overall?
Well, this is a very, very interesting ethical dilemma that I wish to be part of because of the fact of the position that I've been put in by nature with the diet myself. You have to be comfortable with what you eat. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Some of us are wired differently genetic than others, and we got to respect that. A is going to eat B, is going to eat C, is going to eat D, is going to eat E, and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Yes, there's a separation between us. Yes, we're all God because we're all made of God, but God got to eat. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And if God put it in their DNA that they can only eat chicken, it's not. Or somebody put it in their DNA that they can only eat shellfish, or they can't eat shellfish, or
their
somebody
body is changed in some way.
Yes.
Certain types of diseases can rewire you.
We have to be willing to look at food differently in the future when we're picking raw materials off of asteroids and creating things to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been giving a lot of thought about that. How much do you separate yourself from your food? Well, I don't know if that's a good idea. I think maybe go back to the Scott analogy again. If you recognize that chicken that lives out in your yard as God, and you're God, and you're going to eat that chicken, there's a whole different level of respect that goes on.
Well, and you know, my ex-husband is
nice
half Cherokee, and his father was a medicine person, and if he goes hunting, hasn't gone for a very long time, but if he brings down something, before he touches the animal, he apologizes and explains to the animal exactly what he's going to do with it, and thank them for for uh, contributing to his survival.
Yes.
And that is done in every single case.
Well,
whether it's a squirrel or what.
The one thing we've got to get away from is this whole idea of allowing people to look at it and go, the subliminal programming is what is causing people to do it. Subliminal programming, do not get me wrong, has been done since man crawled out of the caves. Okay. This is where the comment smile, keep them guessing came from. But if we keep looking at people and going, this person is part of the marketing program, everybody on the planet is part of the marketing program.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We cannot continue pointing at the ones that are standing in the spotlight. Because I will tell you, one of the most influential people I ever met was an individual that was living on the street. Nobody knew him from Adam. As a matter of fact, the only reason I know what his first name was is he showed me his ID. And since the picture matched the ID, I'll go with it.
Yeah.
But the moment we start looking at any of these people in the spotlight and go, they're part of the PSYOP program, we have a massive problem. Because every one of them is operating on the same idea. Okay? We are taught that money is what you require. Now, do not get me wrong. If I'd have paid more attention to money when I was younger, I wouldn't be in the boat I'm in now.
Not both of us.
But what we've got right at this point is looking at it now. The moment somebody says PSYOP, to be frank, I go right back to my lab. And I spent enough time there. Now, that's the military laboratories, for those of you that don't know what it is. The moment I start looking at that, yes, the military does some heinous things. However, for those of you that have joined the military or first responders to defend your families, your community, your country, absolutely hats off to you. It's the people that are in the higher ranking positions that I question motivation on.
Well, and whoever they're taking their orders from. One of the things that I would like to point out as we start heading towards the end of this is that the divine in each of us need to recognize the divine in each of us. That is between you, me, and all the rest of the world. Because until we do so, we are going to have this division.
Right. And allow me a closing thought. We're good at the divine individual and seeing it in others. We're not really good. I'm not really good at divining society. I try to stay away from that in general.
It's understandable.
Because I can't, I feel like I can't change all of society. So I'm not going to worry about it. But I got arm's reach. I can make an affectation for it, right? I can change within arm's reach.
Each of us go out and we see others, and one other person has a divine element in him. Now, maybe the mob doesn't, but the individual does, and we need to start reaching out individually to each other.
Right.
Okay, and this is what I was getting at. I agree with both of you wholeheartedly. But this is where it has to stop, even coming out of our mouths. Turning and going, the elites are causing the problem. This person standing in the spotlight is part of the psyop. This has to stop from our end. Because if it doesn't stop from our end, it's certainly not going to stop out there.
No.
Okay. I shall add that I'm not promoting it. I am bringing it to light. I'm just saying I want to expose it, not say it's their fault. I want
But
to
that's just
expose
it.
it.
Exposing something like that with a spotlight on an individual is what causes the problem. Not just with you. I see this all across the world.
All right. We are at the 2-hour mark. This has, you know what? Let's start like, what, I'm going to start pushing buttons here soon. My cup, it runneth dry. So
If you haven't liked and subscribed, definitely give us a try.
Yes,
this
please,
is one of the deeper shows we've ever had.
If you're here, you're quantum.
If you're here, you're quantum. You were meant to hear it.
Right, and I'm looking for the things that I have made, like and subscribe and the quantum stuff and everything. I have I've too
and
many
it's still not demons.
Not demons.
Not demons.
Yeah, I found that one.
But I've had interesting ideas of what it could be, but not demons.
This has been a terrific show.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Are you okay?
For joining us.
We want everyone to be okay.
We're okay.
I think I missed a question here.
Keith, are you
I just made the comment. I thank you for being with us tonight.
Oh, I heard that, and thank you for having me. The answer to your question, Nathan, the odds are I won't be for another 20, 30 years if I live that long.
Okay, well, I'm worried about the next 20, 30 minutes. But you seem to be hanging in there, so I'm going to go with.
I'm not going to be dead in that time, and I'm not on the verge of a heart attack, if that's what you're worried about.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm worried about. I don't want that. I want you. You're not getting out that easy.
So I found out.
You made me stay. You got to stay too.
Yep. Okay, Aussie is saying what I need to say. Thank you. He's using that wrench with some skill. If you're here, you're quantum, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and start pushing buttons because my cup
in chat
runneth dry. Thanks, everybody. Tim, thanks for coming in. It was great having you. Your perspective is one that, let me tell you.
It's all perspective. I'll admit that.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's perspective. And we have a great perspective. You add to it. And I do.
Thank you.
I appreciate that so much. And you're not like a muggle. So it's wider than that. It's wider than that. It's probably wider than that. Okay.
Nice.
And it's great when you're able to come on. And thanks for staying up so late too. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Keith,
we love y'all.
Keith, thanks for coming on. Sorry I got the link to you late. I was covered up in notes and toy show, and I just got myself distracted. You know what I mean? But thanks for coming on. Sorry it was so late.
Not a problem.
Okay. I know it's been a long day. Lynn, thanks for coming back.
Always a pleasure.
We are the Quantum Panel Show tonight. And we're keeping it quantum every time. I'm going to push buttons. I'm starting to get a little bit out of it. The Manuka is running out. All right, everybody. I'm pushing buttons. Everybody have a great rest of the weekend, a great Sunday and the week. If anything happens, I will post it up. Don't know if anything's going to happen. It's all quantum from here. Thanks, everybody. Talk to y'all soon. Pushing buttons. Pushing buttons.